With NFL Week 5 officially wrapping up, one of the biggest storylines was Dak Prescott's injury and the Cowboys win against the Giants. So the question is now, what to make of the Dallas Cowboys season? What to make of Dak's extension? Does he have any leverage? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Progression. My name is Joe. I spoke way too much. With that being said, please join me in the comment section down below and leave your thoughts on what we're talking about. So, this past week, NFL Week 5 had plenty of different storylines, but possibly the biggest one was Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott suffering what it appears to be a compound fracture. Now, obviously, we still don't know the extent of the injury. We don't know how many weeks Dak will be out, or if he will actually be able to make a return before the season ends. But that was probably, in my opinion, the biggest takeaway of this. So let's talk about two things. First, can the Cowboys still win the NFC East? And let's just get right to it. I feel like Dallas can still win the NFC East, regardless of either it being Dak or Andy Dalton, because of the fact that that division is so weak right now. Even if Dak doesn't come back, before the end of the season, I still see the Dallas Cowboys being able to at least have a shot to win. I don't exactly think that the season's officially over. Andy Dalton's a seasoned vet. He has got a team like the Bengals to the playoffs before. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a different situation because, that offensive line is still beat up. But if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, I don't think it's completely time to just say, hey, the season's over. Because I don't think it truly is. But now let's talk about Dak. Because, this past offseason, the biggest storyline was Dak can get that kind of extension that he wanted. He rejected multiple different offers by the Cowboys, and there was just a lot of talk about whether or not he was going to get the money that he wanted. He wanted Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes type money, for that matter, and that was the big disagreement on what Dak's value truly was. Now, some of my friends have actually told me that if the Cowboys struggle without Dak, then he's got leverage, that he still has some leverage. And I asked myself, what leverage? There is no leverage right now. In my opinion, Dak's worst nightmare, at least half of the worst nightmare, has come true, and that is, get hurt while playing on this exclusive franchise tag. And I say half of the nightmare because it can always get worse. Things can always get worse. But right now, from this perspective, obviously I feel like Dak made a mistake, and I've always thought before this injury that he made a mistake by not taking the money that the Cowboys had offered him. He wanted Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes kind of money, and it's clear that he's not worth that kind of money. I hope he's okay. Prayers up, Dak. I don't wish harm on anybody at all. But, I understand that he's trying to make a play, but sometimes you got to understand that it's better to just take a loss on a play or slide than put yourself in harm's way. I know he's playing football, but regardless, he put himself in harm's way. And that was mine as a 3 lineman that he's had. That offensive line is atrocious, to be honest with you, and that's not his fault. It's just he's used to a top 8 offensive line. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to tell you that he messed up and he completely lost any kind of leverage that he had. Because if the Cowboys are able to win with Andy Dalton, there's leverage for Dallas to be able to just offer him whatever they want, and they still have Andy there. They can re-sign him for another contract extension. Not saying that that's the right way to go, but there's leverage that's built in Dallas. Now, on the other hand, though, let's say, and this is what I was telling a couple people earlier, and that is, let's say that Dallas Cowboys struggle and they stay a little bit competitive, because there's no way that I see them just winning 1 or 2 games over the next 11. I still think that they have a talented roster and they have a talented running back, and again, they have talented pieces. But to me, what will complete Dak's biggest nightmare is if the Cowboys finish within the top 12 picks. Now, if the Cowboys finish top 12, and here's my take on this, I feel like all the leverage in the world goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Even more than if they were to win with Andy Dalton. Why do I say that? Well, what this injury does to me is it tells me that the Cowboys officially won the negotiations when it comes to the price that they're going to pay him. He played, and what was the biggest knock on him? That he couldn't beat playoff caliber teams. Last year he was 1-6. This year he was 1-3. I'm not going to count this Giants win, but he was 1-3 this year to open up. He put up numbers, but he did so last year, and they still didn't manage to win. The next thing is that when the situation isn't perfect, he struggles or, bad things happen. The next thing is the Dallas Cowboys, if they were to franchise Dak, they'd be paying $38 to $39 million for a one-year franchise tag contract. That's an absurd amount of money. The Dallas Cowboys can't afford that, especially with all the other players that they're paying right now. And the fourth thing is, in that situation, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have, in a sense, won these negotiations, because if they were to finish with a top 12 pick, that gives them all the leverage in the world to just tell Dak, here's the money. We're going to give you this contract. You take it or you leave it. If you take this, let's just say $32 million a year contract, here we go, just sign it, and we'll go about our business and be professional. But from a business standpoint, if Dak were to, fight back and push back on that contract or to reject it, if I'm Dallas, I would say, all right, then it's over. You know what? We're going to tag you. We're going to trade you away. You can negotiate with another team, but we're going to pick the team to go away, because I'm not going to let you leave or walk out without me getting anything. It's a business. The NFL is a business if there's anything that we've seen this year. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys and I finish, with the top 12 picks, and I mean, if you win, 7 games, you're still going to be in the top 12. I mean, last year, picks 11 and 12, those teams were 7 and 9 win teams. So if you finish around that, or even with 6 wins, there's a good chance you're going to be in the top 10. And what's going to be next year in the draft waiting for you? 3, at least from B+ to A quarterback prospects. You get Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, or even Trey Lance. Now, I don't think Trevor's going to be up for grabs, but you can get Justin Fields and Trey Lance. And what would I do if I was Dallas at that point? I trade away Dak. Let's just take like the Jets, for example. I package Dak, Amari, to kill off cap space, because you're going to have to eventually shed off cap. I package Dak, Amari, the first rounder this year, the first rounder next year, a third and a second, maybe even a 6th, to go out there and get, let's just say the 3rd or 4th overall pick, and give my team the opportunity to go out there and get either Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Now, I'm not particularly high on Trey Lance, but I've compared him to Dak. He's exactly like Dak Prescott, similarly built. Dak's 6'2", he's 6'3". He's faster and more mobile than Dak. He's a little bit bigger than Dak. And with this team, where the returning top 8 offensive line coming to full health in the following season, and the kind of receiving core that the Cowboys have, even if they lose Amari Cooper, you're still going to be able to get free agents in Dallas. It's a great city. The Dallas Cowboys should officially trade Dak Prescott, package him with Amari, get yourself an opportunity to get one of those top college quarterbacks for the upcoming NFL draft, and give your franchise the opportunity to start fresh with a better quarterback and with a legit chance to win a championship. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a like, and if you enjoy content like this, feel free to subscribe. Please let me know what your thoughts are on the situation. Do you think the Cowboys should trade away Dak or not once he's healthy? Thanks for listening. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.